All right, we're all set up. It's been a while, huh? Feel like we've been at this for almost a year now, and haven't taken a week off.
We've taken, I think we've taken 2 individual weeks off. Last week was the second time. There was one in the winter, like around Christmas. I think we took off. But it hasn't been a year. We started in November. No.
I'll say yes. I feel like it's correct. We started in winter, that's for sure.
It was November for sure.
Imagine we went a whole winter without ever canceling a podcast. We dealt with snowstorms and everything.
Well, it's good. It's what I wanted, right? I wanted like consistency out of all of us, and I think we've all done it. It's tough to get Eagle out, you know? Because he lives 2 minutes away.
Yeah, that's true. So we're solo today.
Yeah, just me and you, man, as usual. Fuck everybody else. You don't even need... See, we're live right now. I'm going to test it, though.
I kind of like it this way.
We're live right now on Facebook, and we're not live on YouTube, but we're recording, and it'll be posted up later on, too.
I got to flash my new swag. Houston Rockets flag, web.
So a lot of shit happened this week, eh?
So let's talk. Come on.
For the fact that there's not much happening other than baseball, there was a lot of stuff that happened this week.
Well, baseball's actually been doing a pretty good job of getting people back in their seats to watch games.
Yeah.
The couple of times I've watched games this season, I've actually watched quite a few. Like if I catch them on TV, I'll watch them.
Yeah.
I feel like the game has increased their pace. It's a bit annoying though because I'm all into Bryce Harper, and he's been having like a really, really like odd season. You know, like he has this humongous contract. Like we're looking at maybe one of the richest contract in baseball history, and the dude is not hitting well enough. I mean, when he was offered the big contract, I mean that season, he was hitting 249. 249. That was the year, and he had a below 900 OPS stat. I think it was like 880 or 860. I don't know the exact amount, but when they offered him that contract, it looked like he was going to be putting up like Babe Ruth stats, and now it's looking like he's putting up really average stats. The problem now is that the Phillies are kind of clinging on to the last wild card spot. I'd be really interested to see like what they're going to do, what kind of adjustments they do, because they can't really get out of this contract. But I mean, anyone that when Harper signed, I mean, generally the feeling was that it was way too rich a contract for a player that's great, looks great hair and everything. But it was like what I was saying originally about the Nationals. Like when we first discussed this, like when he first signed that contract, I felt like they had overpaid Bryce.
I think everybody felt that.
They did, and the only competing team to that wanted to sign him was the San Diego Padres. And San Diego Padres, they weren't willing to offer him that much.
For sure, they just spent all kinds of money on Machado.
And like looking back, so he had an opportunity to sign with the Nationals. Now, obviously, the Nationals contract, that the one that they were offering was ridiculous in the sense that they were offering, deferred contract payments until he was late into his 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
And I mean, anyone you're a Mets fan, so you know about Bobby Bonilla.
Love it, though. It's such a good story.
They're almost out.
It's 2031, no?
Yeah, that's almost.
$1 million every July 1st. Yeah. $1 million. Bobby Bonilla Day.
I feel like that's a dream, though.
Good for him, man.
Is it really like $1 million? I feel like it's
$1 million, probably taxed.
Yeah. That's still fantastic.
Knowing you don't have to do anything and you get $1 million every year.
And I don't even feel like he hung around to be a consultant or anything. Maybe I'm wrong.
He probably bought some real estate or some shit,
So the whole Harper
the money in baseball is out of this fucking world.
It is. There's a lot demanded about baseball players, though. I mean, they play these humongous seasons, though. So
you said there's a lot of demand?
There's a lot asked of them in a sense that they.
It's a long season. It's a fucking long season.
It's a really long season, and you're asking these guys to displace their whole families and everything on a constant basis for the majority of the year.
We switched seats, by the way.
Yeah. So Twitter handle, that one's mine. This one's Terry's. But I'm pretty sure anyone watching, if there's anyone watching, they know this by now.
Let's see how many people are watching.
So that's kind of what I'm saying about Bryce Harper, is that the most shocking thing about this isn't so much that he's having a mediocre season. He had a couple of down seasons, and he's had generally really good stats, and it's not so much about the stats. It's the fact that when you offer a player of his magnitude this kind of humongous contract, you kind of expect to at least make the playoffs. And at the moment, I mean, they're barely scratching the surface. So that's the most fucked up thing about it. If you can get up the standings too, to be good, like to find out where the Phillies are. So then you look at the Padres, who were planning to spend this kind of money on Manny Machado.
You want the MLB standings?
Yeah. Manny as well is having a okay season. I mean, it's always difficult though. Like I feel like when you're making like, let's say $300 or $400 million, I mean, what stats are good? Because even if you're hitting 50 home runs a year, I mean, in today's age, it's not just about the home runs as well, you know. So
it's tough to say. It's not about just the amount of home runs you're gonna hit or whatever the case may be. The thing about baseball is like, if I give up on this guy, how am I going to sell tickets?
Yes.
Because that's all that matters.
That's what matters.
There's only 6 teams that make the playoffs per league.
Yeah, I mean, the Pirates, for the longest time, all they've cared about is being just a mediocre team, just to fill up the seats. And
even when they had McCutchen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and McCutchen's playing for someone else now.
I don't even know. The Indians, I think?
Let's say Indians.
He might even be on the Red Sox, actually. It's a good question.
If he's on the Red Sox, that's mental.
But he's like deep down the fucking lineup.
So it's an interesting thing. It's an interesting thing he's with the Phillies too.
Andrew McCutchen.
So they have Andrew McCutchen. They have Hoskins. They have Harper. They have McCutchen, and they're barely making a wild card spot.
Barely. What?
So if you can get up those standings, that'd be awesome. Just to find out.
I'm doing it now, bro.
Yeah. So just in general, like I've been pretty impressed with baseball this season. I felt like I really liked the All-Star break. For the first time in a long time, the All-Star break happened pretty quick. Mm-hmm. I've always felt like it's been.
It was in and out. You want to know what the Phillies are? The Phillies are 8 games behind Atlanta.
Yeah. So and Atlanta's not paying as much money at all. Like they're.
Okay. So give me the last 3 championship teams. Red Sox last year.
Red Sox was a team before.
Astros before.
And then it was.
And before that was the Kansas City Royals.
Kansas City Royals.
2 out of those 3 teams do not have big payrolls.
Absolutely. And look at Kansas City. They specifically don't sign anyone big.
And
contracts.
the Red Sox didn't really. They did have a big payroll because
the contracts
did
have a huge contract.
But they had a lot of like young guys that played well. You know, that's why the season was crazy because they just fucking played Moneyball all year.
It's just that, and I feel like this is the reason why Philly fans, while they might be, let's say, angry this season, why they won't overall feel so beaten down by this kind of contract, is that a team like the Phillies, a team like the New York Yankees, a team like the Red Sox, they can afford to offer players huge contracts because if their contracts don't pan out, they'll always have that bottomless pit of cash, of cash flow.
Well,
because
there's probably like 10 teams that have that amount of money.
But think about it, for example. A team like the San Diego Padres, for example, the Padres do have really good attendance. Their payroll hasn't been so huge in a while.
Now it's the only team in San Diego.
And if it doesn't pan out,
unless you count Giovanni Fiore, friend of the show, his old team, the San Diego Gulls, which is the AHL team in San Diego for the Anaheim Ducks. The only other pro sports team they have now is the Padres. The Chargers are gone.
Yeah.
So they should be filling up. The money's not going anywhere else.
No. I guess
Have you been to San Diego?
No, I've always wanted
Beautiful.
to. Yeah, beautiful, right?
I just stayed a day there. We did like a bunch of hiking and shit, but it's fucking nice.
Yeah, I heard amazing stuff.
Yeah, I'd move there.
One day.
Today.
Yeah, today?
Yeah.
Yeah? You just
opportunity, I'm there.
Okay, well, we'll have to deal with that when the time comes because we'll have to put together a package to keep you around.
So baseball's been keeping us busy, and there's that stuff, right? I mean, there's always now it's the time of year.
But I guess going to my prior point is that a team like the Yankees and the Red Sox, they can afford to offer a player a contract of $300 million, and the player doesn't pan out.
Yeah,
it sucks. Obviously, no one likes losing that kind of money, but they can turn it around pretty quickly. Whereas a team like, for example, a Tampa Bay Rays, if they offered that kind of money to a player like that, just to, let's say, keep fans which already don't show up at Tropicana Field, you know, but they can't get past that. That's one of the issues I've always had about having the Expos back home, is that I feel like in baseball you need such a humongous payroll, and you can't survive a player not producing well when you're paying him that much money.
But it doesn't matter, because in baseball it's like, okay, yeah, it matters if he doesn't perform well, like, at all. But if he gives you a few streaky weeks or whatever it is, then the money's worth it at the end. Who's worth that amount of money?
No one,
right?
No one. But we were in agreement with this when it first happened. We were both saying, like, okay, so best case scenario.
We were kind of like, Bryce Harper's going to get the money, and Pease is more like, he doesn't deserve it. We know he doesn't deserve it.
Yeah,
but he's going to get that money.
Yeah, it's nuts, and you know,
was it 330? Ended up being 330. And Trout was 400.
I'll say that it's overall less than Machado, No, it's less than Trout. That's for sure. Trout has the richest
Good thing the
contract.
internet exists, huh?
You know what? And the Angels were in such a great position to sign Trout too, because they saw his production. They knew what he was doing. He was comfortable there. He plays really, really well on the West Coast.
So Trout was 430.
Because to me, Trout is worth every penny of that.
I mean, who's worth that much money?
12 years. Mike Trout is worth that much money.
12 years, 430. Harper's contract is. All right. I don't know how to use the internet. There it is.
So what I guess what I'm saying is like I like my Trout in for that kind of a contract because he's consistently producing.
325.
Not so much of a personality, but man, that guy can hit really well.
For sure.
And you can see the Angels. You can see that like without my Trout, that team wouldn't be the same. Whereas Bryce Harper leaves the Nationals, and Nationals are relatively the same team this year.
Yeah.
You know, and for the Nationals fans that were angry that he left, and I mean at the same time, how many National fans really thought he was going to stay? You know?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's just baseball. They overspend for the big stars. It is what it is. They're going to get it. These guys are going to get their money. And it's guaranteed.
Is there a team that you like this year that you feel, because it's hard to predict if the World Series?
Right now, no.
Is there a team that you're following that you think's going to do well?
Right now, I can't think of anything. I mean, I watch the Braves a lot because I'm a Mets fan. So
and
I'm
they're also on
TV.
They're on TV a lot too.
I mean, I'm rooting for. I don't give a shit as long as I see them. I'm
I'm
gonna watch. Like right now is the time where I start watching baseball.
Yeah.
And right now I'm like I usually don't watch too much. I look at the standings here and there, but now is where I really start watching baseball.
Yeah, after the All-Star break's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I've been impressed. Like I follow a little bit from the beginning, and it's been a while, and I'm pretty happy. And the All-Star break was pretty cool. I know that we really missed that one because we haven't been on for a while. Like I think we haven't been on since the All-Star break.
No, we missed 1 week only.
Yeah, 1 week. Okay.
We missed last week because fucking the mics weren't here.
Yeah.
So next. So I mean, like I said, so baseball. Other than that, there hasn't been much. But we did see probably one of the best tennis matches of all time this weekend.
You saw it. I tried.
It's true. You didn't watch it. Then we met up.
I fucked up completely.
Then we met up for Beer Fest right after.
Yeah.
How didn't you see? How didn't you watch it?
As soon as the Women's World Cup ended, I decided to unsubscribe from all my sports networks. Because there's really nothing going on with baseball, and I catch baseball anyway. Like I catch it anyway, so I don't really need TV for that. Anyway? There's a lot of Reddit streams, and now you would say, well, wouldn't you use Reddit stream for Wimbledon, right?
Yeah.
But because I didn't have it on TV and it happened so early, I just kind of forgot about it.
Same here, actually. I didn't realize it till I woke up. I did what I had to do, made some coffee, whatever, and then I was just kind of flipping the channels, and I saw Wimbledon pre-game, whatever, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" So I started watching it.
It's the kind of thing that you kind of forget. It's not a huge deal in Canada.
Yeah.
You know? So it's not like.
So Novak wins his 6th Wimbledon.
Yeah.
3rd against Federer. Federer has 21 Grand Slams. Now Djokovic has 16 Grand Slams. Now the argument is coming up: who's the GOAT? I guess everybody forgot about Nadal. I'm a Federer guy.
Same.
I have nothing against Djokovic.
No, none at all.
I think he's great. I think he will go down as probably the best of all time.
Absolutely, and I mean he's still much younger too. And when I say younger, I mean he's not that much
32.
Younger. He's 32, and
Federer's 37.
37. I think
Turning 38.
I think Nadal's also 37.
No, he's 33.
Okay, so
Nadal's he was like the prodigy. Like he was 20 years old, killing everybody.
Yeah, and now
where Djokovic was only like the last.
But I'm wondering like who's the? I know you. There's a Greek boy that's probably not. Who's probably the up and comer now.
Yeah, Tsitsipas.
It's Tsitsipas. Yeah, I really like him too.
He beat Nadal.
Yeah,
I beat Nadal at the Spanish Open, and then but it's more. He's just very young, right? Like he's the same thing with that Canadian guy, Sharapova, not Sharapova.
Shapovalov.
Is that his name?
Shapovalov, yeah.
Sharapov.
No, that's
not.
No one pronounces it that way. Look it up, and nobody pronounces it that way. I'm gonna call it Shapovalov. Even if I'm wrong, I'm gonna call him Shapovalov. That sounds stupid.
Tennis.
And then if not him, then it's the other one that's a complete failure too. The guy with the black hair. I love.
Raonic.
Nah, don't talk to me about Raonic. Every time I see
Shapovalov.
Shapovalov.
Yeah.
Shapovalov.
Shapovalov.
Nah, I don't.
It's not Shapovalov.
I'm not gonna take your word from it.
You're putting 2 popos there. It's Shapovalov.
Shapovalov.
Yeah,
I like it.
Anyway,
so I like him. He's got great hair.
Oh, he's got fucking beautiful hair. He kind of looks like Tsitsipas. Anyway, so I saw him beat Nadal also here in Canada, like 2 years ago.
Cool.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a crazy match.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, there's up and comers, but reality.
And the other guy, I really can't get into him either. Radic, I think, is that his name? What's the other Canadian name? The other Canadian.
Raonic? Milos?
Milos. I'm not a big fan of Milos.
At first I was, but he hasn't really done much. He keeps on getting injured.
Yeah.
He's also super big. So for him, it's like
Yeah.
he's probably a lot more in pain than younger guys are.
Yeah, that's true.
He's
That's
a
true.
big boy. So overall, I mean, tennis is at its peak right now.
You find, yeah.
But Federer is skipping the Montreal Open, the Rogers Open.
Well, he's also really good at spacing out his.
Yeah. Okay,
his
but listen to
play.
this. Listen to this.
Okay.
Where's he from?
Switzerland.
Switzerland. He speaks French.
He plays in Basel. He lives in Basel, I think.
I don't know what the fuck that is, but whatever.
I know these.
He
things.
speaks French.
Yeah.
Fluent.
Yeah.
It's his first language.
Yeah.
He's skipping the Montreal Open
Right.
to play in the Cincinnati Invitational.
Well, what's
Who the
time?
fuck wants to go to Cincinnati?
But what's the time difference? Like, and we're talking about how much of a difference in weeks of recovery, though.
Yeah. But instead of going to like another country's national tournament, you decide to go to some crack ass.
No, I wouldn't.
Tournament.
I really wouldn't put that on Federer. Fed is the gamer of all tennis players.
I agree. Like I said, I'm a Fed guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's about that. I think it's because he spaces out his opens, he spaces out his play throughout the year because he's at that age now. Like, he's got to be careful. Like, even he's not like Tom Brady that can just take hit after hit for 16 weeks and then just eat cucumber sandwiches and he's fine. You know.
So before that, you spoke about the women's national team. They won the national championship.
Yeah, but that's all in the past. No one cares anymore.
It's not about the game.
We care once every 4 years.
What my question was, it's not about the game. Is that because right now all social media is blowing up. Are you annoyed with them?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
I could care
0%.
No, I'm not.
I am 15% annoyed.
15, but that's okay.
I'm 50% annoyed because I feel like it's very. The cameras are always on Megan Rapinoe.
Yeah,
and they say there's 3 captains. Who's the 3rd captain?
I think Carly Lloyd, her, and
It's Morgan. I know Carly Lloyd's the other captain.
Yeah.
But like, where is she? She's never on TV.
So here's my point of view on this as well. Okay, so I get what you're saying, and I understand the annoyance that people generally have. Okay, we have to also look at another.
Like
thing
I said, I'm
that
only 15% annoyed right now.
for sure.
If
But
I
we
see
also,
something else tonight, it's going up to 25.
we have to look at it in a way too, where the U.S. media, the U.S. sports media at this point is looking for any little thing to make a storyline because there's nothing else going on.
Okay.
And they not only that, but this is the U.S. women's team who completely outperformed the U.S. men's team. There's a lot of storylines there. There's a lot of, like, in itself, there are a lot of clicks that you can garner from talking about the U.S. women's team.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is where a lot of their attention comes from, and also no other country covers their sports like in North America. In North America, we are so obsessed with sports. It's crazy. It's about, especially in the United States, not as much in Canada.
In Europe, what do you mean in Canada?
No, in Canada as well. But I'm saying in the United States, in the U.S., it is their identity. Their sports team and everything. They have the stickers on their cars and they tailgate.
It's the university stuff too. When I go to the States and I hear like it's always like when somebody meets somebody, where'd you go to school?
Yeah, that's what they care about.
Why is it important? Why is it so important to where you went to school? Where here it's like, I went to Concordia, I went to McGill. Okay, let's jerk each other off. Like, I don't understand.
And if any other team would have made stink, like let's say the Italian team made some stink about how they didn't want to talk to the president, guarantee you none of us would hear about it. But the fact is that it comes from a place where the U.S. media is consistently.
I got into a few Twitter beefs with some idiots.
Yeah,
some
I did
idiots
see
about that. Like,
Yeah.
fuck off.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay. So they don't decide to go, right?
yeah, they don't go.
So then what was it? It
Not
was
the only ones that didn't go, by the way. There's a lot of people that didn't want to go. The Gold State Warriors didn't want to go.
Yeah, so
Anyone make a fucking problem about that? No.
So the Raptors, somebody was said, "Oh, what if the Raptors don't get invited to the White House?"
But why would they?
Why would they? They're in Canada's team. There's Americans on the team.
Are there?
Okay.
I'm trying to think. Are there any Americans on that team? There probably
On
is.
the Raptors team?
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Kawhi. Danny Green.
Kawhi, obviously. But no, not anymore. Kawhi.
There's no Canadians. on the team.
Kyle Lowry's from
There's one
Philly.
Canadian. On the
Yeah,
team.
so there are some, but there are a lot of people.
No,
that
but just
are,
to say, it doesn't mean like so. The St. Louis Blues were all all Canadian. Are they getting invited to the Parliament?
that's a really good point.
They'll probably get
But we
invited to
don't-
the White House.
But we don't do that in Canada.
We don't do that shit.
fucking do that, and I don't see. And it's like also for
You know,
her.
what we do. Our prime minister goes to them.
Yeah,
They'll go to their locker room or
yeah.
something.
We're a very courteous country.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
we're nice people.
So for example, right? So
And our prime
Morgan
minister is
Rapinoe. So I hear one of the stories is
It's not
that
Morgan Rapinoe.
Oh,
It's Megan
Megan Rapinoe.
and Alex Morgan.
Both beautiful, man. My God. And so
Yeah, you're down for Megan Rapinoe?
Absolutely.
She's cute. Yeah, I give it
Yeah.
to her. But Alex Morgan is.
So Rapinoe doesn't sing during the national anthem, right? It's
She
a
kneels.
fucking problem.
She kneels.
No, not even that. She doesn't kneel anymore. Now she's standing and she's just not singing it.
You don't have to sing.
You don't
have
think
to stand.
you don't think so, but it becomes this huge problem before the game, and you have all of these nitwit writers, all these nitwit like
They're just trying to find something.
and they're just trying to find anything, and they know it's going to garner clicks, and that's why I feel like a lot of the stories that we hear now, like we make a bigger deal than it is, and generally when we see a story about how she's not singing national anthem, nobody fucking reads the story. They just look at the headline. And they make all their judgments on what a headline is because no one reads anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not annoyed with them at all, and I don't think anyone else should be.
No.
And until they're paid properly, because after that game, I watched the U.S. men get completely obliterated in the I think it was the Copa Cup, and I was just thinking to myself like, these guys.
Not the Copa Cup, the CONCACAF, the
The
Gold Cup.
CONCACAF, the Gold Cup. I'm sorry that I missed up one of 10,000 tournaments in soccer, in men's soccer. You know. But these ladies, they play once every 4 years, which I think is crazy. They should be playing less. They should be playing once a year. I feel like if they really want to make a stand for getting a pay equality, what I would love to see is for them to play once a year and show that it's a repetitive product that they can consistently bring ratings to.
Yeah.
Because this one, okay, the women's World Cup final, it had such an amazing rating that it beat out some of the NBA finals.
Yeah.
And so if we can take this product and bottle it up and kind of showcase it once a year, it would be fantastic. I don't think it would dilute the product at all. I think a lot of people, when they watch women's soccer, they realize, holy shit, this is really cool. You don't have people fucking diving every 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's it.
You have amazing athletes. It's a harder game, less complaining. You can see them really, really, really fighting for it. And there's a hell of a lot more emotion I see in that than fucking World Cup. So that's just how I feel in that sense. You know, and the fact is that you have some of these players on the men's team, bench players, that are making more than the full team.
Yeah, but okay. So they make more from the national team, or they make more from their local clubs?
Well, the women players barely make any money on either, and they usually have to have another job.
No, but that's my thing is that I'm okay with them deserving more money. I'm okay with that. But there's another thing is that why do they make more money than us? They make most of their money playing for in the MLS or whatever it is.
Exactly.
So yes, the women's national team should be getting more money when it comes to what they do for the World Cup and things like that, but not in the clubs yet because there's no demand for it.
No, there isn't. And the clubs, absolutely. That's also a new thing as well.
We're like 50 years away from even being close.
My point of view on it as well is that I feel like the people that are really missing out on paying them are really corporate sponsors like Nike and Adidas. I mean,
no, these girls are getting money. So
no, for sure, but
that's my problem with Megan Rapinoe now. This is my problem with Megan Rapinoe. I'm 15% annoyed. It's getting to 25. It's because she's doing all this. She's going to be making all this money, but it doesn't fix the issue of the rest of her teammates not making money.
No, but her talking about is bringing awareness to that fact.
Sure. So what's going to happen to that 18-year-old girl that scored the goal? Nothing.
So
she's not going to get anything.
Lavelle. Oh, she's amazing.
Wasn't she on the cover of Sports Illustrated?
So this is what I'm talking about with Nike and Adidas. If I were Nike and Adidas, wouldn't it be an amazing publicity stunt as well to just say, look, there's this pay difference with the women's team and the men's team. Let's pay that $30 million, get that positive publicity bump, and you pay these women fairly, and then you can make them all these spokespeople for women's equality in that sport.
Yeah.
I feel like it's only fair. I feel like it's going to happen eventually. And a lot of the arguments that I see is like, well, there just isn't demand. Well, if there isn't demand, then why is it that this Women's World Cup had better ratings than some of the championship games, the NHL championship game, the Stanley Cup?
It's because it's world. You're 6 billion people fighting with 380.
The rating I'm talking about is American viewing ratings for the Women's World Cup as opposed to the Stanley Cup final. Some of the games they had a 14.3
because of the hype they
it's
created.
Crazy.
Because of the hype they created, which is fine.
Absolutely, yeah, great.
Do everything you can. Anyway,
yeah. So that's my point.
Tired of talking about those fucking. It's the same. Every time I turn on TV, they're there.
I don't feel like they're on anymore though. I feel like this happened weeks ago. And
hopefully this doesn't curse them. Speaking of curses,
yeah.
Do you believe in the Madden curse?
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
really
Mahomes
do.
is gonna go down this year.
Who?
Mahomes.
Oh, it's true because last year was
Antonio Brown.
But what happened to Antonio Brown last year?
What do you mean?
He signed with the
it
Raiders.
was literally the biggest shit show ever.
Yeah, but he wasn't injured. He just chose not to play.
but it was still like if something happens.
Okay, so you're saying that this is a cumulative kind of curse.
It's a curse. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't just
it's
affect
not specific
your health.
to injuries.
Okay. No, but there's different kind of curses, bro. Now we're talking about a hex. This was a real hex on Antonio Brown and the Steelers. So
it's if anything, it's a hex on the Raiders now.
It's definitely a hex
because the Steelers dodged the bullet. Antonio Brown's dick.
How much can you wait for the
Hard Knocks?
Oh, Hard Knocks!
I really can't wait.
I say we do a viewing party for the Hard Knocks.
I'm down.
You know how Rogan does a fight companion? We should do that for.
I'm down. Yeah, I don't think we can play it.
Richie Incognito, man. I'm just waiting for him.
Incognito, Antonio Brown, Dave Carr.
But I didn't believe in it before until Peyton Hillis, because Peyton Hillis was really the time where oh fuck that, we really overthought that one.
Peyton Hillis?
Peyton Hillis was the cover of 03 or
he was. It should not 03. It was later.
2010 maybe.
I want to say a bit later than that, but yeah, he was.
But he went from like top to bottom.
But he led the league in rushing.
Yeah, so he had like 1,500 yards that year. It was crazy.
You see how quick they put him on? It's weird, eh?
Wait, what are you trying to say? Because he's white?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
It's not a racing fuck. He was amazing that year. I mean,
he was, but like
I just think they wanted to give Cleveland some kind of
I don't know,
positivity.
I feel like it could have been somebody else instead of a guy who was a glorified fullback.
Yeah, they should never put a running back ever again on the cover. But now they kind of do now they do these covers now with EA Sports where they include different players, eh?
Well, FIFA does that.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna have different editions as well.
Fuck that shit. Anyway,
how much do you miss NCAA on
I liked NCAA because I used to crack the real names.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Or I just go randomize.
It was really, really well done too.
Yeah,
do you remember that? Like you can build your the way you recruit your players.
Yeah, I loved it.
It was awesome.
You build your stadium, everything. Madden used to be good with the relocation. Now it's like so stupid.
It's always the same fucking relocations.
No, they change. Yeah, well now it's like you have to pick from these cities.
You can't choose Las Vegas.
So I had to choose Brooklyn, and they gave me a name. I couldn't even choose my own name.
No,
Brooklyn Barons.
No, that doesn't work that way.
I'm telling you,
it does.
Yep, it's not like it used to be, where you pick a city and you just go. NHL, you can do that.
I'm just kind of fed up with the sports games, the EA Sports games. I can't do them anymore.
I am absolutely not fed up. Love that shit. So you're wearing your Rockets t-shirt today?
Yeah.
Which means that you wanted to talk about something very specific.
Well, I'm a huge Russell Westbrook fan. He's my favorite player in the NBA. He always has
where
been.
is he playing?
He's playing with the Houston Rockets. He got traded for Chris Paul with multiple picks. If you can get up to picks, if not, whatever, doesn't matter. He was essentially traded for high school kids right now because one of the draft picks was a 2026 pick that they gave away. And if you think about it, 2026, I mean, this kid's like he's probably like 12 years old right now or even less. No, he's probably like 8 years old.
Who's this?
Nobody yet because it's a draft pick. If you're fucking listening.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, it's because the I think it was 2024 first round, 2025 first round, 2026 first round. I'm not sure which ones are protected or not. The draft picks in the NBA are kind of, if you can get it up, it'd be awesome. But I thought it was a really good trade both ways. I felt like
what do you want to know?
Well, just for the trade, so we can get the trade details up.
Oh, okay.
The trade was it wasn't a straight up trade. It was Westbrook for Chris Paul. Essentially, two teams that have hit a ceiling, like a concrete ceiling, won't be able to get further, and both of them need to address their point guard position, and also trading two terrible contracts.
So Oklahoma City have traded Westbrook to the Houston Rockets for Paul and a swapping of the top point guards. The Thunder also are getting first round picks in 2024 and 2026, plus the right to swap first rounders in the two other seasons. So don't the Thunder now have like 15 picks in the next 2 years?
They have so many picks, and that's why I also feel like they what they might do is hold on to CP3 for one season, pay him that $40 million, swallow it, just so he can kind of train the young players. But I would really not be surprised if they just buy him out, because at this point
they buy out CP3.
You're looking at them.
And then he signs where, at the Lakers?
Well, the Lakers would be a good destination. But the thing is, when you look at this trade in general, the Rockets were looking to get rid of Westbrook because they themselves they just needed a huge rebuild, and they've done a pretty good job of with PG they traded Paul George for a wealth of picks, maybe one of the biggest hauls ever.
Yeah.
For a player that knew that wasn't going to stick around, and with Russell Westbrook, they're bringing back a lot of pieces, and they also have Sam Presti is one of the best GMs in the NBA. That's if he's still with them. He might be with the Clippers. I'm not sure.
I think he went to the Clippers actually.
But they've
Damn
done
prick.
they have done a really good job with drafting players. And the thing with Westbrook is he's the type.
Presti was hired as general manager of the Seattle SuperSonics, who later relocated to become the Oklahoma.
So he's still with the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign because he's going to be in control. And also he's in a great position too because the way he sees it is like he was able to extend his career as a GM for a long time. Because he has made great personnel decisions, and he's put that team in a position to win on a consistent basis. So he's good. Now, in terms of the Rockets, okay, they took on
shit show.
Yes and no, because Chris Paul's always been a fucking pain in the ass to play with, from what I've heard. And
Westbrook is a fucking bowl of jelly.
No, but a lot of players want to play Westbrook. That's never been an issue. Whereas Chris Paul basically shot his way out of the Clippers.
Why would Paul George ask for a trade?
Well, that's a really good point. I think Paul George probably looked in a situation where he's always wanted to play in LA, and he's in a situation where he can play with Kawhi. Anyone that saw Kawhi play in the NBA championship last year knows, yeah, I want to play with him.
Of course, yeah.
For sure.
As a beast.
So both contracts are pretty intense. I mean, we're looking at, upwards of 35 and up million a year that you got to pay for either player. Would I pay for Westbrook? Yeah. I mean, he's 34 years old. He's still in the prime of his youth. Hasn't had that many injuries. He's had a couple of injuries. He's not completely clean on that. But you look at Chris Paul. I haven't seen Chris Paul completely healthy through a stretch. Okay. There was 1 year, maybe 2 years ago, I think, where they put the Warriors up against the wall. They were one win away against the Warriors, and they would have represented the Western Conference against the Cavaliers. Yeah. Chris Paul gets injured right at the end, completely fucks everything up. The Warriors will go on to win that championship, and I think they end up winning a championship that year. So CP3, while he is an incredible floor commander and a bit of a pain in the ass to play with, has always brought the best out of the players that he plays with. Yeah. I don't see him finishing with the Thunder, and I don't think the Thunder have any plans of keeping him around because that's a lot of money that they got to beat.
For sure, yeah.
The other thing too is that the Oklahoma City Thunder were in a situation where if they would have kept the nucleus that they had with PG and Westbrook, they would have paid a repeater tax, which in the NBA,
fuck the NBA.
Yeah,
so
the NBA
stupid.
is So if you go over the salary cap limit 2 years in a row, you pay this insane amount of money, like $30 million.
Why let them go over the cap then?
Right. Well, it's a gamble you make because they when they brought in PG and when they had Westbrook, they were under the idea that we can make a run.
I never understood that. I never understood the NBA and the NFL that do that. They allow you to go over the cap, but you'll be penalized the year after.
Yeah. Well, that's just what it is, and I guess what it is, it's a way to hold some of these really gluttonous NBA and NFL owners, holding them to that, saying that, look, you went over 1 year, because some of these owners, they'll pay whatever money to get to bring a championship or bring a playoff appearance.
They'll get the money back in ads.
That's exactly it. And so how do you tell these owners, no, you can't go over the cap 3 years and just bring in all-stars. Yeah. You bring in a kind of tax, like it's a way of kind of balancing out the league.
Of course.
Now the league is so balanced because Kawhi decided to go to the Clippers.
Yeah. No, the West is balanced.
I think the West Coast is going to be such an amazing thing next year. The West,
West
Coast.
Who comes out?
The Western Conference.
So you have Golden State, Lakers.
Yeah.
You got Houston.
Yeah. The Clippers look incredible.
The Clippers, obviously.
Think about it this way. Look, the Clippers have Kawhi. They have Patrick Beverley.
Dallas.
And they have PG. They have the three greatest defenders in the NBA right now. All three of them. If they play against the Lakers, they have it defensively set up. I mean, if they try to switch, LeBron will be put. They'll have Kawhi on LeBron.
Yeah.
LeBron switches out. PG's on him. He switches out. Beverly's on him. It's sick. It's such an amazing team I think
Kawhi would be covering Anthony Davis, and I think that PG would be covering
and they can
LeBron.
do it. That's what's crazy about it. So those are going to be great battles. And then look, just at the bottom, just look at with the Pelicans. If Zion Williamson turns out to be this amazing generational player that we're talking
they might
about,
be in the playoffs.
Then we're looking at them as well. And then let's not forget about Portland,
Dallas.
of course, and
Dallas,
Denver Nuggets.
Denver Nuggets too.
So that's just a completely,
You're forgetting about my pick to win it all next year. The Utah motherfucking Jazz.
Utah Jazz also pumped it up too. They brought in Mike Conley, my favorite PG.
I'm picking them to win everything.
Yeah. No, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy.
Yeah?
He's smoking weed, this guy.
I did earlier. But I'm telling you, Utah's going to win it all.
Okay, do you want to put a bet on it? Like some kind of bet?
You know what? I'll find one and I'll place it. I'm not going to do it with you.
Because that's fucking mental.
It's fucking crazy, man.
But it's going to be really interesting. look, obviously, as at first as any Canadian, I was sad that he left. It went left for the Raptors for the Clippers, but I kind of get it.
Why
you know,
you
I
sad?
really do.
Why are you sad?
Well,
You're a
I
Knicks
mean,
fan.
I
Why
would
you
have
sad?
no. I of course I am. But I would have very much liked to see the Raptors repeat that glory. It was a great moment. It was one of the greatest. It was the greatest sporting moment in my history, Canadian sports history, for me personally. Of course. Well, we're going to talk about the World Cup, the not World Cup, the World Championship where Sidney Crosby and Jerome McGinley
The Olympics, you mean?
The Olympics too, but I feel like this, like the Raptors.
The Olympics win it on home soil, or just the Olympics
Yeah.
in Canada finishing with the most gold medals.
That was
And
also
they
true.
were like
But-
halfway through, they were like last place, and then all of a sudden it's just gold, 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 gold.
Yeah, and I think
To me, that's the best
But when I
Canadian.
look, and I won't disagree with you with hockey, that was amazing. When it comes to the Olympics, we're talking about a humongous event. I'm talking about with a championship moment. The Raptors winning it all was because it was something none of us expected.
Yeah,
If you remember,
the St. Louis
nobody
Blues
had
is
it.
more Canadian than the Raptors.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. But that being said, I can see it with the Clippers. I think that what happened is that now I'm talking out of my ass, but Kawhi Leonard has always been the thorn in LeBron James' side. He always has been.
How?
Well, he ended the Heat dynasty.
Sure.
He
Wasn't just him. He had 3 Hall of Famers on his team too.
with,
He was also 22 years old.
Oh no, I agree with you on this, but Kawhi Leonard was completely unstoppable in that.
Amazing
in
that series.
Yeah,
Amazing.
But I'm not putting it just on him, but I'm saying that he has been a thorn in LeBron James' side, and he's at a point now too where if he wins another championship with the Clippers, he might go into the conversation of one of the greatest ever.
Kawhi?
Yes, because he's able to win with the Spurs. He was able to win with the Raptors and be able to win
with the Clippers.
And it would be the first time ever that a player won 3 championships with 3
I
different
don't think he
teams.
needs to win with the Clippers to be considered one of the best of all time.
Yeah. No, well, whatever. That's just it's a symmetric kind of like conversation. I don't want to get into it. But
What's a symmetric conversation?
Not symmetric. What the fuck's the word?
Semantics?
Semantics conversation. It's a semantical conversation. I don't really care. I don't care if who's the greatest ever. I always find those conversations lame. But going back to Kawhi choosing,
you pitch your points and
but to
see if you can change people's minds.
But to the point where Kawhi Leonard chooses the Lakers, I can see it because he had an opportunity to play with the Lakers, play with AD, and play with LeBron, and potentially be this dynasty for the next 5-6 years.
Yeah.
But Kawhi's never been about that. He always wanted to have his own team. I feel like he really enjoyed winning in Canada because it really was all him, you know.
Yeah.
And he has a situation where he can be the main guy. Like
Yeah.
now, now it's kind of completely turned on its head. If it doesn't work out with the Lakers, which is very very possibly it might not. Like AD is incredible, but AD also has had a lot of injury issues. He's been nagging injury issues throughout his career. And LeBron, he's kind of I'm not going to say,
But he had
he's lost
injury issues
anything.
on a team where he was always the number one guy. Now
Yes.
he's not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but aside from LeBron and AD, I mean, what else did he have? Kyle Kuzma.
yeah.
I mean, it's not a great team. It could work. It's just now I'm
Rondo.
trying to think about who's fucking Rondo. Like I'm trying to think like who's gonna be that point guard in that team.
Stevenson? Or is he only
No,
there for 1 year?
Lance is not gonna be.
He's done?
No, he's not done.
I think
Lance
he signed
is
only
never
1 year
done.
anyway.
Yeah.
He signed 1 year.
So like so basically the Clippers and Kawhi and Paul George have an opportunity to completely change not the history, but completely change the landscape of the NBA, but specifically in LA. If they win out in
sure,
LA,
yeah.
they can be. It's no longer going
But
to be
they're
the
all-
Lakers
but-
Stadium.
No, it still will be.
It will be, yeah, because there's statues everywhere.
But they'll always be like the New York Islanders to the Rangers. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They'll always be the second best team. Anywho.
A team I have to say has no reason to act as great as they are is the Knicks, because right now New York belongs to Brooklyn, right now, and
Yes.
I don't see the Knicks going anywhere. And so whenever people talk about the Knicks, I always think, as a fan too, I always think like, what do we have to celebrate?
Absolutely.
Fucking nothing. For the last 20, 25 years, we've had nothing. My whole life, I haven't.
You've
seen
had nothing
anything
to celebrate since they lost in the
since
finals.
Bernard King.
Sure. So speaking of contracts, where to sign
Yeah.
in the NFL, there's something called the franchise tag.
Okay.
Jadeveon Clowney was franchise tagged.
That's too bad. I was really hoping you would move around.
So the thing is with this is that he's accepting of the franchise tag, but he's contesting it because he was tagged as an outside linebacker, not a defensive lineman.
Wait,
and a
he
defensive
does play the
lineman, he
majority
would-
of his snaps at the end though.
Well, he plays like a rush end position.
Yeah, rush end.
But he was drafted as an offensive as a linebacker. So he's being paid $15.9 million this year,
for the year.
as opposed to getting paid $17.12.
Yeah, I get it. I already hate the franchise tag. I fucking hate the franchise.
I mean,
tag.
it protects the teams.
It protects the teams against what?
It protects the teams and just a guy just going to free agency.
Yeah, I get that, but it puts
It's
these
kind of
players,
like putting your player at RFA.
but it puts these players in such a terrible position. It's like, no, okay, obviously making $15 million a year sounds incredible. There's no terrible position there, but I'm just saying it's like you're putting a player in a position where it's like you got to prove it to me now. Okay?
He's making
You know?
he's making the top 5.
And I'm sure it's not 15 million.
he's making the
straight.
average of the top 5 players at his position paid.
Yeah. I just think
Is he top 5?
I just think that if you're going to give me a contract that's going to tell me that I need to put my health on the line for you for 1 year without any guarantee next year where I'm going to play, not knowing what my health is going to be next year, I want to make the max. And the max of that year. And if it means
So you're going to hold out then?
So that's what's
and not
probably
get
going
paid
to happen.
anything like Le'Veon Bell did.
And also the Texans are in a very fortunate position because they don't have to give him that because already $50 million is a lot of money for Jadeveon Clowney.
I don't think so.
I think so. I don't see him as a top defensive end. I don't see him at a $15 million a year or $17 million a year player at all. Now,
What do you mean?
that being said, I have seen great moments with him. Let's say with the Texans when he fucking completely annihilated Derek Carr. But I don't see him as a top.
He's a
top
great
tier
fucking player. I don't know.
defensive
You don't watch enough Texans games.
end. Sorry, I don't fucking watch enough Texans games.
You probably don't. No, for real.
I'm too busy watching goddamn Raiders. That's why.
Why would you watch that shit?
I try not to. It's over. I mostly watch like the NFC East games because that's what's on TV.
Well, that's
a
all
lot.
these shows around here, right?
And I know, but I also really like watching the Giants, like watching the Cowboys. I like watching those teams a lot.
Like watching the Cowboys,
Yeah.
then?
Well, I mean, also red zone, you fucking catch everything, and
Yeah.
you don't really catch too much Texans in the red zone because they're never in the red zone, and
Never.
when they're in red zone, they don't score.
They're always in their own red zone.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Madden thing. So Deshaun Watson gets an 82 rating, just 2 points above Derek Carr, which I think is fucking laughable.
And Dak Prescott's like an 85 or something.
It's all fucking whacked out, man.
DeAndre Hopkins a 99.
Yeah, that I get. Also, if
No, nobody should be 99 except for Michael Vick. 2004 Michael Vick.
they're saying that Mahomes is the next Michael Vick in this Madden.
You know why? Because he's got a cannon on him. And nowadays,
Big old
in the
piece.
new Madden, you can't just run around. Like in 2004, you're able to run around.
Yeah, no,
Now you can't.
No, it's
The
too
AI
clanky.
defensive ends are too smart.
It's too clanky.
Yeah, they really play that
I
contain
fucking
well.
hate it in Madden now. When I play, it's like interception, sack, fumble. It's like
We're-
fucked up.
Our lives are turning into AI.
Yeah, you don't do anything now. You
Exactly.
just toss it in the air and it does it for you.
Just like there's this, they're testing it out. And it's like in AA or AAA for baseball. It's a VAR, but for the strikeout zone.
Oh, I fucking hate VAR. By the way, do you like it?
Depends.
Really?
Depends on the sport.
Ah.
So in baseball, there's an umpire behind the plate, and then the ball comes in, and then a system detects if it's a strike or not.
Yeah.
Okay, but listen to this. A coach, Frank Viola, got tossed for yelling at the ump about the call that the computer gave.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, also when you stomp out there and you're about to make a fucking scene, you don't go back. You don't say, "I'm sorry." It's like
It's true, you're
he may have not known it, and the ump's like, "Yeah, but the fucking computer told me. What do you want me to do?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, fuck you, man."
I gotta stay fucking consistent.
Yeah, the whole fucking team's watching you. What are you gonna walk
No, but, like,
back
what's
in
the
shame?
point of a manager coming out and yelling at the fucking umpire?
Oh well, they say it's a way to pump up the team, and also also why is it that these managers wear fucking baseball jerseys? They don't play.
Yeah, it's weird. Eh?
Fuck. But it would also be weird if we're wearing a suit too, right?
Yeah, you're sitting there in the fucking heat, chewing gum.
I do like when they wear that like
tracksuit.
the tracksuit with like windbreaker. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that shit with
The
the
pullover
player.
one with the
it's
V-neck?
fucking cool. Yeah,
love that shit, man.
yeah, it's super nice.
Actually, I'm gonna look for one. I'm gonna look for an Expos one.
Come on, man. They're not coming back.
No, exactly.
So why are you doing it?
Exactly.
You're just hurting yourself even more.
Exactly.
You just like getting hurt.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm
masochist.
a masochist over here.
What the fuck were we talking about? Talking about
Penis. We're talking about penis
that's
sizes.
That's it. Talking about ratings. Yeah, I don't know.
What?
We're talking about ratings before. What's this now?
About Madden.
No, but now we're talking about we're
talking about
VAR.
Yeah,
VAR.
VAR. Yeah.
So I don't like VAR whatsoever, but
Why?
it's also because I find it's become this kind of thing that it takes longer for these games to happen, and not only just games, but these huge moments. I feel like it kills the energy a little bit too. You know.
Okay. Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so the U.S. in the women's soccer, U.S. is playing England, and there's an offside call that's made, and I swear to God, it's like a millimeter off, like not even. It's like a hair. It's a hair off. And originally it wasn't called an offside, and now it is, and it's called that based on these little decimals, these little decimal points. And I don't know. I didn't feel like that goal should have been taken away, and I felt like the game would have been even more intense if they would have let the goal go.
Yeah, but there's always a human error, right? So why not?
But I liked human error before. I didn't have an issue with this.
Do you like the VAR in tennis?
No, I will say the VAR should exist for certain fucking refs. Like Angel Hernandez
No,
needs VAR.
You can't do that.
He fucking needs VAR.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you. I'm
blind.
gonna tell you sports, and you're gonna tell me if you like VAR for that sport.
Okay.
Okay. The NFL.
No, I hate it.
They've been doing it for years,
dude. I can't stand it now. There's just too many play stoppages now, and it's all about the ref. Like you watch now, maybe it's because I watch the Raiders. Consistent flags on the field. But
Yeah.
no, I've watched some games even in the playoffs, and the game is consistently stopping because of these, these calls now, and also we don't even know what the fuck a catch is anymore because we're looking at split
I think it's more
seconds.
clear now than it's ever been what it catches.
Hey, clearly not for the refs.
Okay, so MLB, do you like VAR?
No. I like the natural thing about baseball. I like that.
Yeah,
there's
same
player
here.
error.
Like
Yeah,
I'm
I like
okay
that.
with.
Also, why would you even have an ump if you're gonna have?
But they have
VAR,
so many umps.
Yeah, just have a fucking
they don't
board
really
behind
get
you
it
with
wrong.
a green light and a red light, and just get rid of these umps.
And they don't even get it wrong that often.
But also, not to mention, you can't really get rid of the ump because there's nothing fucking better than seeing an ump just go like, "Fuck!"
Yeah, exactly. It riles
best.
you up. Fuck. Imagine
Yeah.
as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah, it's the best part. It's
You
one of the best
fucking lose
parts.
your
Yeah. It's
mind.
the only good thing about it right now. Is
All
that.
right, cool. Basketball.
Basketball, fuck it, because there's some refs I can't stand. They're like fucking. What's that guy Malloy? I don't know.
Lawyer Malloy.
No, not Lawyer Malloy, but there's Ed Malloy. Ed Malloy in basketball.
Is he the one with the slick back hair?
It's just NBA referees. They make it about themselves all the time. So
Of
I'll just say
course,
yes.
yeah.
I'll say yes for that. Why not?
Because
But also, you can't
you think
in
they're
NBA.
assholes.
You fucking can't in NBA because there's so many goddamn calls all the time. So
No, so
but they do have it.
the thing
in
about
the
these, the thing
No, but
about
they do
this
have it.
is what I want. They do have it. What
Yeah.
every sport has it.
Do they? Does every sport?
Every sport has it.
Probably not rugby. Probably not curling.
Every major sport.
Probably not curling.
No, you don't need for curling. All you need is a measuring tape.
It's true.
How are you gonna use it for curling?
I'm fucking down to play curling, by the way, this year.
I'm down. I'm
We gotta
fucking
do it.
down.
We gotta do it.
I took your spot last time.
Literally, no one cares, but we'll do it.
Oh, let's do it. We'll do a hot sauce tournament.
So, what are sports?
Yeah. So okay, baseball. You like it? No, you don't like it.
No, it's just basketball.
Basketball,
I don't want it.
you're-
No, basketball. I don't want it. Basketball.
Hockey.
Well, I like the way
Offsides
they,
and
but I
stuff?
actually like the way they do it in hockey because it doesn't take long. Like they look, they see, and then they get rid of it. It's bing
But
bang
you,
boom.
but you
It's-
know what
it's out.
happened? Let's say you're offside and the puck goes into the zone, and the puck stays in the zone for 10 minutes, no whistle,
Mm-hmm.
and then they deem that you were offside. They replay that full 10 minutes.
They replay the full 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But I don't mind that because it gives me more shit to watch. But I hate
Sure.
the one thing I hate in the NFL is when there's a call on the field and they're gonna go review it, and so what do they do next? Well, we're gonna go to commercial break now. No, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like you just wasted 5 minutes of my life, and now I gotta sit through 2 minutes, and the commercials are consistently repeating all the time. You
Yeah.
know? But that's only if you don't watch Red Zone and watch a full game on its own, which is
Okay, cool.
basically
So now
crazy.
VAR in combat sports.
Combat sports? No, I don't see it. I wouldn't want that in combat sports.
Okay. So they
But what would you use? Well, how would you use VAR?
so
in
like
combat?
maybe on DQs. Disqualifications, which they kind of do
that I
use.
can see
Because what'll happen is like let's say
Yeah.
a guy has his hand on the ground, he's technically down in MMA,
yeah.
and he gets kneed in the head. He's technically a downed opponent, so he shouldn't be been able to get kicked in the face.
I guess
What
yeah.
the ref would do
Yeah.
is that the ref would call disqualification
Yeah.
or not call it or whatever. Go
Yeah.
look and see if he did it or not. Some refs do that.
I don't mind VAR when it's a quick thing, and I don't mind when it's in the ear. I just hate when these refs have to go running over to a tablet or a screen,
Yeah.
and they sit there and they look through 15
But
different.
it's to get it
fucking
right.
angles
Though.
of it.
It's to get it right.
But no one cares if it's right. No one cared about it being right
Of
before.
course they care. The
No, but
losing
now-
team cares.
No, but now everyone cares because it's a standard.
No, the losing team cares.
Look, I'm sorry, but before we had official review, we took our lumps and and that was it.
Of course, but now
You
you
know?
have the technology. You might as well use it.
And now it's just, but what's the future of it? It's just going to be consistently
Obviously, you don't want to
review
ruin the consistency. And you don't want to ruin
you
the
don't want to
momentum
review
of the game.
you also don't review. You don't want to
That's
ruin
why- that's why
the
they're
player
only-
the viewer experience.
But that's why they're only allowed a few.
Look, I think in general VAR's not bad. I just hate the way they do it. I hate the way they do it in the NFL. That just drives me crazy. The
In
way
the
that they
NFL?
do it, it fucking takes forever. Like
Because the coaches are challenging.
I don't mind coaches' challenges. I don't mind that.
That's
And
part of the game.
I find that you have these old crusty dudes running across a 40 fucking yards to get to a screen
Because they're
and
being
they're
proven
blind.
wrong.
They're fucking blind
Because
and-
they're being proven
yeah,
wrong.
And that's a whole other issue on its own. But I'm saying it's just the whole theatrics of it. You don't have these Ed Hockey leagues anymore. You have these old fucking crusty guys that are just going up to the screens. You know they can't see shit. You have people screaming at them from everywhere.
No, they have the cover.
You know,
thing
don't get me started about that because
now.
like sometimes they get lost in there. They're trying to get out. They see a hand come out of the tent. They're trying to look. Where the fuck am I? You know.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan, but whatever. I can see it. I'm not the majority.
You are the minority.
I'm definitely the minority.
Actually, there's probably a lot more than you think that agree with you.
I'm sure there is because there's nothing that drives you crazier than seeing a penalty, seeing an old man run up to a booth, and then it's like it cuts to commercial.
That doesn't drive me crazy at all.
Cut to commercial. Like, okay, well, I guess we gotta fucking wait for this old ass to get to the.
Go take a piss.
You know.
And you come back.
Yeah.
And the decision's made for you. You literally have to do no work.
But just have someone in the ear just say, Bobby, it's a go. Okay, guys, good to go. But the fucking refs, they got to go to the middle of the field. They got to announce to everybody. They got to do their sign language. You know, at least hockey does it a lot quicker and a lot more efficiently. That's really all I'm gonna say about that.
I guess.
Is there anything else going on in sports? By the way, I feel like this
Nothing.
is a really dry ass season.
Yeah, of course.
Part of the year, yeah, definitely.
It's a shitty ass season. But
Like, what's going on right now? Now that Wimbledon's done, there's a British Open soon. That's gonna be amazing.
Golf.
I think that's starting tomorrow.
Is that tennis or golf?
It's the British Open in golf, absolutely the PGA, and it's going to be taking place in Northern Ireland, which is going to be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it. I love Rory McIlroy, so I feel like it's going to give him a bit of an edge. So I'm looking forward. That's good.
Are you gonna watch? Are you actually gonna watch?
Yeah, I definitely am. I'm probably not going to catch the whole thing, but I'm going to probably catch a bit Thursday, a bit Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Well, July 22nd, NFL Network, which is Monday.
Yeah.
NFL camp starts, so that's gonna be a lot of stuff on TV right there. I usually record a bunch and I fast forward, then I delete.
Yeah, I think that might be the best way to do it.
NFL training camp. Nothing else to do.
Yeah, it's
Prepare for my draft.
I thought one of these I thought that the XFL, the AAF were gonna have games going on before football, but I guess not gonna happen.
So last year the NFL Network showed the flag football tournament that they did.
Oh, fuck off!
This year they haven't shown it yet, and I want to watch it.
Flag football.
It's fun.
Like I know we like it because we play flag football. We like it, but you can't catch me on a Friday night watching flag
Not
football.
a Friday night, but like on a
When's it gonna be?
on a Saturday afternoon at noon.
Yeah, Saturday afternoon.
It
noon.
is. That's when they play the games.
That's what I'm gonna do. On Saturday afternoon, I'm gonna fucking sit on my couch.
In
It's
the
sunny
winter,
outside,
yeah.
and
When it's cold out, yeah.
Well,
Maybe
okay, it's cold out.
It's,
well, it's not cold for everybody. Not
hey,
only.
come over.
only out
We'll
here.
watch some flag football and get hammered together.
All right, I like it.
We're neighbors. We're paisans now.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not bad.
So there's a episode. I don't know.
I don't know.
Sauce for work.
We got nothing else to talk about right now, so
I wrote some stuff down, but
do it. Yeah, just quick. Just there anything else?
Oh, so the Alouettes, since we're Montreal, very local, they fired their coach.
Oh, yeah, Reed.
Their general manager, Kavis Reed, because
Reed.
he was doing sketchy business. We'll
Oh,
ask Marco Briette next week.
Cool.
I think we've said next week for Marco Briette like 7 times.
Yeah, that's
But anyway, he got fired basically for falsifying expenses.
Oh, like
Yeah.
going to the Bermudas and saying it was like a team exercise.
Stuff like that. Yeah, for real, Florida. Yeah.
I fucking get it, man.
Yeah.
Whatever.
He a lot of expenses, and apparently they had known about it for a few weeks.
Fake it till you make it. You know what they say.
I guess, man. But I was thinking this though while I was looking at it, is that what does he do now? How many teams are gonna trust him?
There's probably some college team that'll take him.
He'll go to a college team, be like an AD.
It's probably like Alabama State. No, Alabama State is actually doing pretty well. I wouldn't say Alabama State,
yeah.
but Alabama Tech State. It'd probably take him if they any fucking exist.
Alabama State's a good school. I guess not. Anyway, so that's it.
Well, what else? What else is on your list?
That was it. We did everything.
That was you said you had a list. You brought up one fucking thing.
No, there was like 8 stuff we spoke about already.
Oh shit.
If you didn't ramble on so much, you would have listened.
That's the way I am, man. If you guys don't want me to fucking ramble, then make sure you're in the studio so I don't have to be the one talking here.
Sure.
But though I feel like in basketball there's another trade. No, was Kemba Walker to the Celtics?
Yeah.
That I liked. Enes Kanter and
Those are old news.
and the Kemba Walker, and I think that's okay.
That's it. I'm publishing this article now. It's my top bridesmaids, never brides for UFC fighters. Never won championships.
Very nice.
So it's
Little
pretty interesting.
bachelorette kind of.
Yeah, it reminds me of it's
Are you?
related to
The question is,
Bachelorette.
are you going to use spell check this time?
Absolutely not. But it's been a couple of days I've been writing it, so I've been going back and reading it, so it seems pretty good now.
Okay.
But no need for spell check.
Nah, no.
Terry Tam writes, no spell check.
Don't fucking spell check.
So yeah, I was inspired by Uriah Faber because he came back and he's never won a championship in the UFC. So I was like, fuck, man, who else hasn't won? So I kind of did a little deep look. It didn't take me long.
Are there any fights coming up you're looking forward to?
You're fucking right, there is. It's Daniel Cormier.
Cool.
Against Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
That's in August.
That looks good.
Then you have Max Holloway against Tony Ferguson.
Nice. That's
No,
a really
no.
good one. But Tony Ferguson's back?
Is it Holloway? Yeah, Tony Ferguson is back. I'm wrong on that
Okay,
one.
okay. But anyway, we'll
Tony
just...
Ferguson's fighting, though.
Okay, so we'll just see that.
Well,
that's
Poirier
what-
is fighting Khabib in Dubai. They're building the new the stadium now.
Yeah, of course they are.
Just for that fight.
It'll be done next week.
No, but they're building it just for that fight.
Yeah. Like, they have that much money out there.
But fuck me, man.
There's like the Dubai Open.
There's a
coming up, too.
pothole right next to the corner of my house. There was a cone sticking out of it. So I guess somebody reported. They just put a cone next to it now.
Yeah, that's
So
it.
there's 2 cones there.
Yeah.
Fix that.
Nah, they're fucking crazy out there, man.
Fucking shit, man. Nah, none of that.
I say we just end it up right now.
Right now?
I got nothing left.
I'm good to go, buddy.
Is there a pet peeve that you have you want to talk about?
Yeah, you ramble.
Nice.
No, it's okay. I'm kidding. Good stuff, Duke. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully we get Marco Briette on. He's a busy man. Now that he's a lawyer, he's a play-by-play for color for the Montreal Alouettes too, and he's a full-time father. And that's pretty much it.
A really cool guy.
And he tries to be athletic, but he knows he's the second best quarterback I've ever played with. So we'll see him next week. Pease will be back. Eagle will be back from his shitty-ass softball game too. And that's it. And I'm not going to say your brother's cheesy-ass line.
Nice.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao. Hashtag Hot Sauce Sports. That's it. Bing bang boom. Okay, I'm going back home. Yo, I installed my TV on the wall. This fucking stand, if ever you do it, you gotta let me know.